This is Monday, 25th of November, the year of our Lord, 2024. Live from Europe on the question on our Africa World Media Television. Together with Pan-African Forum Limited, a Pan-African organization that handles public affairs, people's interests across Africa. Whichever country you are in, when you see my face, remember you are catered for. I will defend Africa. At the same time, I will make it a point that I speak the truth and also remove conflicts in our continent. Our African continent has a litany of conflicts, ranging from Libya, Sudan, Somalia, Central African Republic, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Our continent suffers, but priority is given to other continents, to other areas, Ukraine, Middle East. We have not got the share of why we are on in one planet, in one organization called the United Nations. We seem to be discriminated in the United Nations in terms of resolving conflicts that have killed our continent, Africa. Today, I will address you on two occasions. And I will want to show you why International Criminal Court has not used the Proprio Motu motion, own initiative, Proprio Motu, to enter, to initiate a preliminary action against states, against those who have committed crimes against the states of Libya and Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is going to be a testing ground. The whole of last week, and I will continue with this week, the filing of applications as commanded by the Roma Statute, in the context of the Roma Statute, that anybody aggrieved whose country is a member state can go and table evidence to the office of the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court. I've tabled evidence last week on two situations that I would like the Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court to deal with. How, when, what depends on them. Mine, as an international affairs, African affairs, public affairs, public interest, law expert, international relations expert, a conflict resolution expert, I have delivered my mandate. I have put situation number one, Mr. Sarkozy. Mr. Sarkozy was the president of a country called France. As you know, we have had problems with this country. Other colonial masters and the colonial powers have left us to do the way we do as Africans, our things. But France has refused to go away. France has refused to give us space as Africans, ourselves, to engage, to solve our own problems. It has interfered in all our matters since 1884 to date. It does involve itself. It does not want to give way like other colonial masters. The British gave way. The Americans were also colonized. They gave way. The French have not given us sleeping good nights. We have been battling in West Africa, military coups upon coups, coups in Conakry, Guinea-Conakry, coups in Burkina Faso, coups in Mali, coups in Niger, several changes in Chad, killing people in Chad, president killed, coups, now a war in Sudan, wars in Somalia. What does this country, war in Democratic Republic of Congo, war in the Central African Republic, you find one name that links all these wars, a country called France. But today I'm not talking about France. I'm talking about one individual in France. And that individual is Nicolas Sarkozy. Mr. Sarkozy was a great friend of Libyan leader in quotes towards the end of his tenure as a president, first term as the president of France, and towards the end of Muammar Gaddafi's days. They became good friends. As usual Africans, we have to blame ourselves. We tell more things, secrets, to the foreigners than telling more about ourselves. So this is one of the things that I'm now trying to unravel. The story of Nicolas Sarkozy, a president of the United Republic of France, became a friend of Muammar Gaddafi. In businesses, money was given out, money was taken out of Libya. This money later on became a problem, a crisis. It became a crisis to repay either. It was used to blackmail Muammar Gaddafi. A resolution 17, I will not go in these details because you all know what happened after resolution 1970 and in resolution 1973. A problem arose. Human rights were abused. NATO was mandated. But people, the point I want the ICC to mark, and the people in the world to mark, that people used Resolution 1973 of the United Nations Security Council under the guise of that resolution, siphoned the oil, the resources, the money of the people of Libya. The companies of Mr. Sarkozy to date continue to deal and do business with the Benghazi sector of Libya. As we speak today, Libya is divided into two. Human rights continue to be trampled on. Abuses continue to be committed against the people of Libya. But the man behind all this, a man who was found guilty, a man found guilty by a court in France of fraudulent money laundering, convicted, extra money of 4 billion euros, unaccounted for. No African Union official, no African Union president, people have not said why this money was found within possession, and the court in France found Mr. Sarkozy with this money. His party did not have it. Officials said, we don't know where the money came from. The court convicted Mr. Sarkozy with others. In Africa, we have kept quiet. We have moved on. Gaddafi's legacy has caused us, has gone into ashes. Nothing is remembered on Gaddafi on this continent of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this should not happen to any African leader who should be killed, and we don't remember him. Patrice Lumumba was killed by the Belgians. His tooth was taken for 64 years over. We have been crying for this tooth. We have not got it. We have not got it. We got it just recently. Nobody told us where Patrice Lumumba was. This should not happen again. Today, my accusation, criminal activities are for the government of France. I'm not touching the government, the state of France. I'm touching personal responsibility. A personal commander, a personal boss, a mafia boss who stood in Paris, commanded, executed, supplied what took place. Even called African Union, Jinping, Secretary General, to stop the plane of the 5 leaders who were going to evacuate Muammar Gaddafi. Personally, we have got imagery, satellite, telephone conversations that can prove, that we shall prove in the court of law in ICC once the ICC initiates its investigations to find out whether what we are speaking is correct. We have labeled all these documents. We have put this evidence, submitted to the ICC. It is up to Mr. Karim Khan to wake up, not to run everywhere in the world. If you say you are under an obligation not to enter certain countries, why have you rushed to issue warrants to countries that are not members of ICC? Why did you issue warrant against Israel? Why haven't you issued warrant against Mr. Sarkozy? Sarkozy, who actually masterminded, took everything, abused the human rights, killed people in serious circumstances that I have attached to the evidence, to the filing that is today in your court, in your chamber, in your data. Fellow Africans, time comes when you speak out. And when you speak out, you can become a target. But Malcolm X said, if you keep quiet and you say nothing, then you are nothing and you have said nothing. For me, I've said something. African leaders who enjoyed Gaddafi's money, Gaddafi's patronage, none of them has come up with this case. I have taken a longer route as a public affairs legal expert and international relations expert, conflict resolution expert, which the tools of analysis I gained from reputable universities in the United Kingdom. I have taken a route to make sure that I bring this matter to the international scene. Let the chief prosecutor decide. If my evidence is not enough, let him ask me for more. If that is not enough, can he do Article 15, Proprio Motu, enter, Proprio Motu, enter any state that has no UN mandate or that is not mandated, not under the ICC. Thank you. On that one, I move and I said, you have seen all my statements on this platform. Read them. Read the reasons. Read the analysis. Read the evidence. Become a public prosecutor like I am. Become a public investigator. Investigative journalism does not say you sit and label lies. You must go. I have gone. I've used my money. I've spent time in hotels. I've spent time on airplanes trying to find out how a country in Africa can be dismembered into 2 parts, and the people who dismembered it, who took the money, are still walking free. That is point number one. Ladies and gentlemen, the second motion last week, and I will continue this week, because on Friday, something very important is going to happen. On Friday, we shall make a move, and I won't preempt that one. But I have gone to the court again, because the chief prosecutor of International Criminal Court, my good friend Karim Khan, you move around and issue warrants against Russia, issue on Ukraine conflict. Why haven't you issued warrants on Cameroon? Why? I have moved to court today, last week, on 24th, Friday, filed an application asking the chief prosecutor to enter Proprio Motu into Cameroon own investigation, preliminary. It pains me, that's why I lose words to say it's very painful. Investigations. To enter initial investigations on your own strength as a chief prosecutor, and find out, do something about Cameroon. People are dying in Amazonia. English-speaking people, Anglo-speaking people, after Resolution 1608, my dear brother, are dying. They have died. The conflict has become a menace. The conflict has become a breeding ground for cross-border interaction, disturbances of Nigeria, Boko Haram across, and other in Chad, who are member states. If that does not force you, as the chief prosecutor of International Criminal Court, to find Proprio Motu and enter Proprio Motu, enter on your own courage, go and investigate. These problems are in Chad. These problems are overflowing in Nigeria. Already, refugees who ran away from the conflict from 2016 in Cameroon have been killed, have been followed by polar bear, slaughtered. Some have been brought back, killed. Some have been imprisoned. A refugee who has committed, who has written and said, I am running away from persecution of polar bear, was caught in, and Nigeria gave them asylum. But Nigeria carried these guys, sent them all the way into my God, sent them away into polar bear's hands in Yaoundé to be killed. Mr. Chief Prosecutor of International Criminal Court, don't you have the eyes to know that there is a conflict in Sudan? Don't you have the eyes to know there is a conflict in Cameroon? That millions and millions of women, children are dying, are being killed between the separatists who want a state of Amazonia, of which UN has failed to decide, and of which they did a referendum under Article 16, Resolution 1608 of the United Nations Security General Assembly in 1961, February. Why have you moved to Israel? Is Israel more than we Africans? I want to know. Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I'm now speaking with all the courage, because you will not say my papers are not in court. My papers are with you. Sir, I don't tell you what you should do about your work. It is up to you to move on to help the people of Cameroon. It is up to you to move to help the people of Libya. I'm not doing this for money. I've not asked any money from anyone. I'm doing it because as a public affairs interested party, African interested activist of international repute who has ever bargained against this court. I want now to test this court and ask you, as the chief prosecutor of International Criminal Court, are those crimes not seeable? Don't you see those crimes? Don't you know that Paul Biya is butchering people? The Cameroonian army has killed people, even across the border into Nigeria. Article 15 of the Roma Statute, which I can recite even if I'm dying in a grave, it's very clear that once cross-border disturbances of a member state might not report. But we African affairs, public affairs, people like me, I have reported to you, I've gazetted incidences where in Nigeria, refugees who left Amazonia were followed and killed. In Chad, they were followed and killed, returned. In Sudan, they are being followed and being killed. In other countries that are neighboring Cameroon, we find several refugees across the continent of Africa, scattered, who are being butchered. Doesn't it sound to you that that is a reason enough for the chief prosecutor of International Criminal Court? And there will be no lawyer to stand in there. I will be myself to stand in that dock to present the evidence one by one as I have sketched it out for you using the Roma Statute, which I read so well, which I've used when you and I were actually defending some people in the world. You and I, we defended people using this Roma Statute, which you know very well. It has it mandates you to initiate proceedings. And I've talked as a person. I've talked not as a hired man. I have not got a single penny from anybody in Cameroon to go and file. I am filing because I want conflicts to get finished. Get ready for me to fire after finishing Cameroon. I'm coming to file on Sudan. You have dragged your feet for too long, Mr. Chief Prosecutor. I'm filing again to show you, why do you run to Israel? Why do you issue warrants on Israel? Fine. Hamas, those commanders I told you, they are dead. So will you go and you are even thinking of doing something very obnoxious to change the law that you want to try people in absentia? I'd have no problem. Capture these guys, bring them there. Why do you waste more time on situations when there are people dying in Cameroon? When Mr. Sarkozy is busy convicted there of criminal charges, but we have not convicted Mr. Sarkozy for human rights charges, human rights abuses committed by Mr. Sarkozy personally, ringing the chairperson of African Union. The French president rang immediately. I have put to you immediate telephone conversations between Sarkozy and Dr. Jinping of Gabon. Don't worry how I got it, but you'll be shocked. I'm a deadly investigator. And I have got everything. I want to thank all the people. I want to thank all my friends in the UK, all my friends in the systems in the United States of America and United Kingdom and Europe and France itself, my group in France that was able to give me all what I needed. I thank you. I thank you that we have placed before this honorable court the situation that I've just talked. 2 situations. Next week, I will place Mr. Karim Khan. I'm coming. I want to show you I'm a friend of yours. We are on the same side. We struggled for people. You know how hollow ICC is. You know how bad it was with Mr. Ocampo. And I hear Mr. Ocampo is in Azerbaijan, somewhere there trying to represent another country. That country should even call me. The one is representing, it should call me also as an international expert. I will be standing for the one is against. and we finish each other. Ocampo should never be seen anywhere near the ICC. He's a liar, he's a thief, he's a conman, a very big liar. Ocampo should not even ever represent anybody in the ICC. So that is a message for the country that is trying to hire him in Azerbaijan. Against Azerbaijan and at some places there is a situation there. Please don't hire him. He's not worth. He's a man who messed ICC. And I'm telling you from the bottom, I have a lot of evidence that if I display it here, the ICC will crumble. The ICC will crumble. I have done this. I'm not against Mr. Karim Khan. It's whatever you did to me and happened to me, I have forgiven you. But now, please, focus on the way forward. Don't issue warrants on Russia, Israel, only. Issue warrants on Paul Biya. Paul Biya is killing people in Cameroon. Why are you not issuing warrant on him, warning him? At least a letter from the ICC warning the president of Cameroon to stop murdering people, killing people, slaughtering people, women, men and women. Over 6,000 people dead. 1 million over and others displaced. The army has gone in to kill people. You can't write even one single letter. Show me one letter that you have written, Mr. Chief Prosecutor. I am struggling for Africa. The Africa that I struggle for is the Africa that produced me. I want to thank the British establishment for educating me, for giving me the tools of analysis. Mr. Karim Khan, when I was in the campus, you were still young. In the same United Kingdom, we are all members of the same country. Rise up to this occasion. Issue warning letters. Get yourself involved in the situation of Cameroon and the situation of Sarkozy. Libya is divided. The same country, the same companies. I am aware that ICC does not trace money. I am aware that that is a criminal obligation. That I will go to Paris, my Paris network. I want to thank you so much. We are gathering more evidence and we shall file another case against Sarkozy in Paris in the court on criminal liabilities. That is coming. It is not any of Gaddafi is gone. He won't come back here to tell us what to do. But he did an inspiration to very many Africans. Some of us, our countries like Uganda, it had a lot of things from Gaddafi. We had liberation. We were helped. We had a lot of things that Gaddafi has done on the continent of Africa. We cannot sit here and call ourselves African scholars. We have gone to university, this Oxford, PhD, this rubbish. No, we have to come and face reality. Use these tools to face your court, to challenge your court, to put it before your court, that there you are. Don't rush to issue warrants of Russia because you have been instructed, because you will be blocked by US. If you don't issue a warrant of, you will be given travel ban by United States. You issue a warrant against Putin. Okay? Why don't you issue a warrant against Mr. Paul Biya? He's part of the problem of what we have. Why hasn't he sat on table and resolved the conflict? In Uganda, we resolved the conflict. You know it very well. The ICC wanted to disrupt our peace talks in Uganda. Today, I and President Museveni, we walk proud. We are proud people because we removed the conflict in northern Uganda. We don't care. We are not international policemen to look for where Konya has gone. It is up to him, you people, to get him, bring him to the trial. But for us in Uganda, we got that peace. And I am proud of Dr. Ruakana Rugunda, my co-chief negotiator. I was a chief negotiator. Mr. Khan, you look at me and you think I'm just a street boy. Listen to me. I negotiated a very terrible war one, and brought guns to silence. That's why I'm here, I'm proud. I move, I walk, I eat. Northern Uganda is peaceful. The commanders who refuse to come back home, it is up to them. Those I brought back are still active in Uganda People's Defense Forces and somewhere in other institutions where they are working. I want to thank President Museveni for that. That's why there is no more war in Uganda. That's why there is peace in Northern Uganda. That's why there is bubbling businesses, good roads in Gulu, in Kitugum. Things are moving. Poverty is everywhere. It's not my role to solve poverty. I'm not Jesus Christ or God who came to solve poverty. My role is to make the better place for a country to be safe, to make its development programs. And we did that. Thank you very much. That is our daily broadcast. And it will be coming to you all the time. Enjoy. If you have any questions, add them. Those who want to see what should be done, those who want to contribute to our programs, we shall leave the PayPal. If you want to contribute for us to go on looking for peace, to go on filing these applications, we have done so without asking for any donation from anybody. But if you want to do so, look at our program, look at the sense we are making. Africa needs to move. Africa needs Mr. Karim Khan. You are my friend. You have forgotten where we came from, Mr. Karim Khan. All of us were on one side opposing Ocampo. Now you have reached there. Instead of helping us to liberate Africa from people, from wars, you have given up. And you are issuing warrants everywhere. Russia, also Middle East. You know, Middle East are those people, they have blood, which is what? Our blood in Cameroon and our blood in Libya, our blood in Sudan, Central African Republic, our blood in DRC Congo is the same as the blood in the Middle East. Why are you caring more about the Middle East where you issue statements every day? Why don't you issue a statement on Cameroon? I challenge you. This time I've followed the Rome statute to file an application. This is the statute I followed. If you say the evidence is not enough, I'll still bring more. But for you, fear me, I can be able to get imagery telephone conversations. Then you must know David is tough. Thank you very much. My viewers, that is Dr. David Matsanga, son of soil, an African, a Pan-African. I want to thank all African presidents who have supported me on this. Thank you very much. I can't mention all of you here, but keep going. Wait for Friday this week. A very good movement is happening. It will happen very nicely. Mr. Chief Prosecutor, the ball is in your court. If you need more evidence, ask me. If you feel that you can't do that, I've put you on test. And you know how your friend works, is me. I've put you on test. That's what I said on Kenyan cases. I said they are fake. All Kenyan cases were fake. They were faked by the chief prosecutor. None of them could stand trial. And I said it in 2010. Anybody who can challenge me, I will produce. Now I've got all the CDs. I will produce back and say, this is the time I said it. Thank you very much, Elon Musk, my great friend. Trump is coming back. And therefore, Trump is coming back. My Zimbabwe, don't worry. I have withdrawn that application hold. Put it on hold. I put the application on hold against America. Because my American friends in the new administration I worked with have told me, don't do it. Wait until we come to power. President Mnangagwa, prepare yourself to direct talks with Mr. Trump. I'm telling you today. Again, some people will run around and say, oh, it is us doing it. No. Look at the face, your friend that you have known for a long time. 24 years, brother, you are going to be talked to as soon as Trump ascends to power. I want to thank Susan Wales, my sister. Keep it going. We are now there. Keep it going. It will change. Emerson, keep going. Do what you are doing best for the people of Zimbabwe. But you will be talked to directly. I'm telling you, it's going to be a direct talk, and the problem of this sanction all the time will be over. That's why I've put the application. I and the 2 other countries have 2 other countries, good friendly countries in Africa that love you people of Zimbabwe. We have put those applications aside. Thank you very much. If you have anything more than that, call me, talk to me. Enjoy the video later on. This is Dr. David Matsanga. Yeah, son of soil, Pan-African Forum, founder and chairman. We filed those applications on behalf of that organization. May God help us. God guide me. This is a tough terrain, but it's only men who can stand up. And it is only one thing that Julius Caesar said. It is not the death. It's not his death. It is not the death of Dr. Matsanga, but the destruction of Africa, which worries me. Just as Julius Caesar said, it is not the death of it's not his death, but the destruction of the Roman Empire. Thank you very much. God bless you.